Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading today for Virgo energy. There's this thing about this star coming in. I don't quite know what it means, but I was kind of getting it in Leo's reading. It was like Leo wanted to lasso the star and pull it in, and now this star is coming in. Basically I shut my eyes to meditate, and I don't have a lot for you today in terms of intuitive messages, but I've been a little bit poorly, so I've kind of been blackout energy. But like I've like as soon as I shut my eyes, I saw this like star in the sky. It's like a shining like a diamond, right? So maybe like Diamonds by Rihanna could be something for somebody. It was like just really bright, and I was kind of like pulling it in. And then the song that I just randomized, so I got this image and then I randomized the song for you and got Hymn by Kesha, which is even the stars and the moon don't shine quite like we do. Dreamers searching for the truth. Go on, read about us in the news. Pretty reckless, pretty wild, talking shit. Sorry, swear warning, belated swear warning. Talking shit and we'll just smile. Don't you see these fucking crowns? If you know what I mean, you're on the team. This is a hymn for the hymnless, kids with no religion. Yeah, we keep on sinning. Yeah, we keep on singing. Flying down the highway, backseat of the Hyundai. Pull it up. Pull it to the front, let it run, we don't need valet. Sorry if you're starstruck, blame it on the stardust. I know that I'm perfect even though I'm effed up. Hymn for the hymnless, don't need no forgiveness, because if there's a heaven, I don't care if we get in. So a little bit controversial. I'm sorry to those of you who are quite devoutly religious in some sort of way. I know that I have a mixed bag in here and everybody's absolutely welcome. I do think that my viewers, especially those who've been with me for a long time, understand the concept of like unity consciousness and everything being God, so therefore everything is God, right? So this idea that just being respectful of each other and the way that we all choose to personally our personal discovery of spirituality is going to take many different paths. And sometimes people take a darker path than others, or a more controversial path than others. And as long as people aren't like actually hurting anyone else, then it's okay. So just being respectful of different beliefs is definitely a vibe on this channel. But you seem to be coming through with a similar energy to Aries. Now I don't know if this song was in the song list for Aries, but they definitely had a similar vibe. I think it was Aries. One of the readings had this whole thing of like standing up for the downtrodden, or standing up for the the waifs and strays of society, the down and outs, and recognizing that people can live different ways. I wonder if it's tying in as well to Leo's reading, in terms of Leo had this thing about the movie Overboard. So this concept of like being in one environment and being raised in that environment as if that's the best way to live, that's the only way to live, because you're in a soundboard, right? So everybody's like everybody's of the same mindset, everybody shares the same values, so therefore those values become reinforced. But perhaps being thrown out of that situation, perhaps through circumstance, perhaps through your own endeavor, perhaps I don't know why, but going into a different situation, or even meeting someone from a different background and actually spending time with them and understanding their perspective more, and being like, hang on, this thing perhaps that was demonized, or this thing that I never valued before, actually has value. And then it's like, it's not that it wasn't in Leo's reading, it wasn't as though Leo was rejecting the box that they were that they grew up in, right? The environment they grew up in, their past. It wasn't perhaps their religion even. It wasn't that they were rejecting that. It's that their perception had grown to include more, right? Their view had got bigger. So yeah, it wasn't a rejection, it was an incorporation of more, which made them bigger than the environment that they'd originally been in, and like they no longer fit in there. So but this concept of, oh my god, I love that. I love that. It's gonna make me cry. I heard build a bigger boat. Build a bigger boat. Okay, I'm just gonna pause because I'm getting really warm. Hold on. Okay, I'm sat here in my bra now, so I'm hoping I don't catch my reflection in any of the cards. I'm kind of like using my hair to cover myself up. So I'm so inappropriate. Don't put me in any boxes. I will not fit in. I love it. So this symbolism, it's coming through the ark symbolism, right? Noah's ark, build a boat and take 2 of every animal because God's sick of the world, is going to flood it. This is such a beautiful response because it's coming through. My finger's getting like, I'm getting like a pricked finger again here. It's coming through. I'm looking at the sky as I'm saying this, and it's like a beautiful blue sky, and like the sun is making everything glow, you know, and it's early morning and you have that beautiful orange, like warm sun glow. So sorry, I'll just chuck my phone over there so it's not bothering us. And it just feels, it feels like fucking revelation, or like, it feels divine. It's so beautiful, and I love the message because of course in the Bible, like, God's sick of the humans. He's like, I'm gonna wipe them all out. They're pissing me off. Like, we'll just have 2 monkeys, 2 giraffes, 2, I don't know, ants. Like, Noah build the ark. But this is coming through with the messages that were coming through in the last set of readings with like Libra and Aquarius especially, where they were standing up for the downtrodden. They were coming through with this, and also maybe Sagittarius and Aries as well. They were coming through with this, you take us all or you have none of us. And if it's like God's favorite is there saying that, so like the Noahs or the Jesuses, you know, the chosen ones, if the chosen ones are saying, you know what, I'm sticking with these guys, you take us all or you take us all or you take none. It's like, what, you know, I don't know, it's just really cool. It's like, you know, we're all in it together kind of thing. So do you know what, we're all going to build a really big boat. I mean, it'd have to be a really big boat to fit everyone on, right? So I don't know how this is going to apply to you on a personal level, because I assume I'm not doing a reading for a bunch of Noahs, right? I mean, you're Virgos, so you know, you are probably the most pure and virginal of all the signs. You are not. Listen, I know a lot of Virgos. You are not fucking pure and virginal. Dark horses, I tell you now. So sorry, this reading's funny, but it's like, I'm laughing. I feel like I've had laughing gas or something. I feel like I've had like, I don't know, like, it's really uplifting, because it's so hopeful and because it's so accepting of, you know, accepting of everyone, accepting of like everyone as a human with a personal story. And sometimes those stories are heartbreaking and sometimes those stories are difficult, but you know what, like, if we all get together as one and support each other, we're gonna make it through. So I don't know what this is that you know, maybe it's something with work where it's like nobody's getting fired. If you fire one of us, we all walk, some kind of union thing or something. But it's like, I really like it. So moving swiftly on, the greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all. So maybe that's a Justin Timberlake song, but yeah, this idea, it keeps playing, it just keeps on coming on, and I'm like, it's like it's not saying anything, but it is saying something. Like the greatest way, excuse me. So a little ping on my phone before was my daughter. She sent me, "Hi, is the fridge running?" And then a follow-up message, "This is important." So because I didn't answer, she rang me. And I was like, should I go and catch it? And she was like, oh, because I spoiled the joke. She was so mad at me. Okay. She was like, bye, bitch. I was like, bye. Got a funny relationship. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I know that I'm perfect, even though I'm fucked up. Him for the hymnless, don't need no forgiveness. So the greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all. So I did think, is this coming through for Leo? Because Leo had this whole thing about, you know, somebody trying to start a fight, somebody trying to instigate something or get in somebody's face, you know, throwing stones. And the message to Leo was like, don't respond. Like, just literally look right through them as though they're not there and go and do something else. So again, the greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all, like kind of like holding back. But I wonder if it's like something else. I don't know. It's like, you know, when it's like, because it's not saying it, right? Because it's that song, they're not actually saying what it is. I don't know. So it might be time for you, Virgos, to perhaps bite your tongue, or perhaps to not confront people or hold back, or, you know, just to, you know, to give that meaningful look that says what you want to say, but without the words. Could be something like that. Always wanting what I can't have. So are you wanting something that you can't have? Are you the sort of person like when you get what you want, you don't want it anymore? I don't know. Like always like the thrill of the chase kind of thing. I don't know. But then I was also getting Nothing's Gonna Hurt You Baby, which is a cigarettes after sex song, and then it came through with another song. So like this message, like Nothing's Gonna Hurt You Baby, keeps coming through. So I'm just gonna get my noisy phone back and I'm gonna pull up the lyrics to this song, because I was already getting Nothing's Gonna Hurt You Baby, and then I clarified what is not being said. So this thing that Virgo is like, or perhaps Leo, is like, I'm not, the greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all. I was like, what is the thing that's not being said? And they gave me Wipe Your Tears by Halsey, which has, hang on, just typing it wrong, which has this same message, nothing's going to hurt you, baby. So she says, I tell her all the time, nothing's going to hurt you, baby, nothing's going to make you cry. I'll be damned if I ever let another hand wipe your tears before they dry. Nothing's going to hurt you, baby, nothing's going to make you cry. I'll be damned if I let another wipe your tears before they dry. Keep your friends close, but this pretty girl closer. Kiss her on the neck, cradle baby is a poser. But she's so cold, but the world is colder. Take her in my lap and I promise that I'll hold her. So this thing about like the world is she's so cold, but the world is colder. It's like when somebody builds up the defenses, right? When somebody, it's hard to get through to, but it's because the world has taught them to be that way. So it's making me think of a few different things. Let me just finish the lyrics. My bed is too big for only me. I keep a pistol when I sleep inside my mouth so I can shoot out all the bad things. That's not good. Don't do that. So wish I'd not read that extra bit now. Scrap that. Ignore that bit. Don't do that. So this thing about like nothing's gonna hurt you, baby, and why wouldn't you say that? Why? Because it's such a beautiful thing, right? Why wouldn't you say it? Because perhaps it would trigger this person's defense mechanism. So it's like the more kind of trauma, the more difficult, the more times people have hurt you, the more cold you become, right? The more defensive you become, because life has taught you to be that way. So in Leo's reading just there, I was talking about it was coming through with English or British and Ireland, like that kind of European way of being, a way of talking to each other, and the American way of being and talking to each other. And it came through with this comedy sketch by Aisling B, I think she's called. She's an Irish comedian, and she was in this sketch, she's talking about how in Ireland or in Britain, people tend to talk to each other in a very upfront, kind of jokey but rough way. It's like, oh, like your hair's a mess, and then it's like, oh, I'm married to that person now, and then like. But she went to America and this guy came up to her in this cafe and was like, oh, hey, I think you're really hot. Like, here's my number. And she was like, oh my God, rapist. Like, she did not trust him. Because because it's two different cultures, right? And sometimes different cultures, to an English person, that kind of like American, or an Irish person, that kind of American charm, that American kind of schmooze comes across as very inauthentic, because that's not how we talk to each other. So maybe in London, I don't know, but London, we don't like London up north. No, that's a joke. It's it's a joke, but it's not a joke, but it's kind of a joke, but it is. But it isn't. We're all right. I could talk to a Londoner for 5 minutes. So just being silly. So what is your reading? Your reading's really silly. I just feel like I feel really unprofessional, but it's how your energy's coming through. It's like really, really silly, really giggly, but like of the people, right? It's like understanding people and not rejecting anyone. Do you know what? Like Virgos, you are so like this. And again, I know so many Virgos. Like constantly, I think I'm the waif and stray, right? I think I'm the like the dirty little kitten that you keep adopting. Like you just know that I need help because I've had so many Virgos around me, like in my life, and they look after me, and I'm so thankful for them. I talk about this all the time in my Virgo readings because I'm a hazard to myself. I really am. So but Virgos like have this habit of, because you've got this big kind of like Samaritan heart, like, you know, you see the humanity in people. So those people who are, you know, who are struggling, who perhaps don't have many friends, or who are, you know, the you know, a bit weird, a bit odd, or who have troubles, it's like you are the one reaching out your hand to them. You are the one. I wonder if you're the caretaker. Leo had caretaker in their reading. It was coming through in songs and in books and things like this concept of the caretaker, right? So playing that role, just thinking, because it's, so I'm reading a book at the moment, and I kind of don't want to say too much because it's a book that a lot of people are reading. I don't want to do any spoilers, but there's this concept of the caretaker in it. So somebody who has perhaps, you know, had a parent with certain issues, that they have, you know, maybe the eldest in the family, where they've kind of stepped up and taken care of that parent, or taken care of a sibling or something like that. Like, you know, having to be the parent from a very young age. And then almost falling into that role and that way of being, where it's like you then look for people who allow you to play that role, right? You look for other people that you can take care of. Nothing's going to hurt your baby, right? So interesting how your energy is coming through. But why wouldn't you say it? The greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all. Maybe it's just showing. Maybe it's just showing up for people, you know? Like being the one who hands them the tissues, being the one who hugs them when they need a hug, being the one who makes the food for them, or, you know, provides that stable home for them, or, you know, being just a symbol of, you know, the rock in the storm. And just making space. And maybe as well, like, you know, they say when people are like trauma dumping, or when people are not trauma dumping so much as, you know, when people need to get it off the chest, people just need to, you know, they're having a bad mental health day, or something's happened to them, and they just need to talk, because the process of talking itself helps them to get events straight in their own head. Yeah. So it's like, I just need someone to listen. I don't need somebody. And I've said this as well to Virgos in my life, where, you know, they've been trying to fix things. They've been trying to problem solve. They've been trying to, you know, because they love me, like make things better for me by giving me advice. And I've said to them, I don't want you to fix the situation. I don't want you to give me advice. All I want you to do is just be that ear to listen, right? I just need somebody to talk to. I just need to express what I'm feeling, and I don't need you to fix my problem. I just need you to empathize. I just need you to sympathize, right? I get empathize and sympathize mixed up. But are people doing this to you, Virgo? And I know, again, the Virgos around me, I know that this happens to them, where, you know, they collect these waves of stress, these people with problems, and they love them, and they want what's best for them, and they want to be there for them. And yeah, you know, they'll call up in the middle of dinner and, oh, I'm having a bad mental health day. And it's like, well, I'm having dinner. Can I call you back? You know, and like, but self-sacrificing and being like, you know, okay, I'll drop what I'm doing to come and have a drink with you, just to have a chat. Or, you know, I'll drop what I'm, you know, yes, like I'm in the middle of watching my favorite program, but I will get in the car and I'll come and pick you up from the train station. You know, it's like that. You know, you are called the martyrs sometimes in the zodiac. So just be aware of that tendency to self-sacrifice too much, you know. And just thinking as well of like how, sorry, I'm kind of, it's all intuitive. I've not pulled any cards yet, but I assume some of you are going to relate to this, because I see it so much in my Virgos around me. But my son's a Pisces, so Pisces is a codependent energy, and bless them, love them. Pisces are the sweetest little souls in the whole zodiac. But my son's a Pisces, and he's Pisces with Aries placements, so he's so baby, right? He's such a baby. It's like the oldest and the youngest. Like Pisces are like the babies with the old souls, and like Aries are like the babies. Like they're just like I need to experience everything when the babies of the zodiac. So he's like double baby, and he's off to high school. So it's like trying to, because you can't baby them when they're in high school, right? You can't be the mum at the gate giving your son a hug because he's gonna get teased. So it's like trying to get him more independent and trying to get him familiar with feeling more independent, and it's really difficult. But there, if I was constantly mollycoddling him, which is so tempting to do because again he's got this baby energy, it's like if I was to continue to mollycoddle him and constantly be holding his hand and constantly be like, like packing his bag for him and getting him dressed or whatever it is, like he'd never learn that independence, he'd never learn to do it himself. So sometimes it's about knowing where to draw the boundaries, like while being there for people but not enabling the dependency. So there could be something like that happening where it's like, again, Virgo, you don't have to fix everybody's problems. Okay, what do we have for Virgos, please? Really seeing that star. Whoa, you're getting, whoa, this is a lot. Oh my God, Virgs. Like a Vogue. Right, okay. The fault line. So something, thin ice, something cracking open. The temple in reverse. Are you looking after your body? Are you looking after your health, your well-being? Do you feel like that kind of Five of Pentacles energy of being like disconnected from spirit, disconnected from the Hierophant energy, like are you rejecting God in some sort of way, the downward pointing triangle in favor of and again, if anyone's super religious, I know, like, again, people have different language and different understanding of certain words. So I'm not talking about, like, just Satan worshipping or anything like that. Nothing kind of dark and dangerous and scary. More like if you think of it in terms of, and again, if you're not religious as well, just kind of go with the flow of what I'm trying to say and think about how it could apply to you in a non-religious way. Hang on, something's coming in. I'm just going to pause off, try and draw it in. Hold on. Oh, I'm laughing again. Your reading's funny to me today. It's like funny but not funny. Like laughing through the dark times, laughing through the drama is the energy of your reading. I was getting not in a sacrilegious way, and I was like, what is that? It feels like somebody's singing, but it's more like a comedy sketch. So I googled it, and it's Homer Simpson. When Homer goes on his hunger strike and he's standing up for something, right? He's trying to like do a protest, and he goes on his hunger strike and he's there and he's dancing and he's like, I'm kind of like Jesus but not in a sacrilegious way, dancing away my hunger pains. Virgos, you're kind of like Jesus but not in a sacrilegious way. Standing up for the down and outs, right? And again, it could be that you've noticed some kind of abuse of power or abuse of authority in terms of, representatives of some kind of institution or church or religious group or somebody who purports to be. It's got that feeling of like, when some people abuse the system in a way where they are doing it for money or something. So even those of you who are like super religious, right, who are really believe in God and really those kind of values. So again, everybody's welcome here. We're just discussing things. So take what's for you, leave what doesn't. Anything that prompts you to think about things is what the reading is designed to do. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you what to... This is the thing, right? This could be part of it. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you what to believe. I am just throwing ideas and philosophies and perspectives and things like this into the reading. So if religion's coming up, because religion, it's going to come up in the readings because it's so important to people. Or not, rebelling against religion is also really important to people because of different reasons. So, have you noticed some kind of, representative of some kind of institution or church or faith where they have misused the system? So yesterday I watched this Netflix documentary. It's like, what's it called? My Mother, I'll find it. But it was basically about this mother who joined this cult, and she did what I would call like the ultimate worst thing that she could possibly do. But in her mind, because she was so brainwashed by this cult, that she thought I believe she genuinely thought she'd done the right thing. And I was like, that is not the right thing, woman. But let me just see if I can see it. Sins of Our Mother on Netflix. It's not a nice program, right? If you're sensitive, don't watch it. But again, the man in that, the man that the mother was kind of running around with, you know, he absolutely was abusing his power for money. So again, like, perhaps there's something where it's like, perhaps for some of you it's a sense of, yes, I believe in this, yes, I believe in, perhaps you believe in like God, or you believe in the you know, the agenda, or the, you know, the things, the basics of whatever that is. Perhaps you do believe in that, but you are finding something that doesn't sit right with you, right? And it's like, trust that spidey sense. If something feels off, like, pay attention to it. So it feels like, right, the temple has almost like a tower moment. It's like you see a tower moment coming in, like the temple's going down. The temple's going down. What is that? Santaro had something in one of their readings about a tower going up, and like as one tower goes down, another tower goes up. The tower's about to go down. What is that? I mean, maybe you're part of a church and you need to check the foundations of the church, right? Maybe there's a big crack in the wall. You need to have like a little community get together to get the funds to repair it. I love old buildings. I love churches. I think they're you know, the time and the work that goes into building cathedrals is just, you know, the expertise of the stonemasons and the, you know, the people who make the stained glass. Like my dad did a course on making stained glass, so I kind of, I can probably do it, kind of. He showed me how to do it. But it's like the actual, to build something beautiful and to put all that money into something beautiful just because you have faith in something better is, to me, such a beautiful thing about humans, whether you believe in religion or not. I saw this thing on Twitter as well yesterday where it was a comic sketch with this guy who is playing he was playing 3 different roles, and two of the roles were like these architects from medieval times, and they were talking to like one of the villagers, one of the townsfolk, and they were like, hey, we've had this great idea for a new building. And the guy was like, oh great, what is it like a school, is it a pharmacy, is it a hospital? And they were like, no, it's a church. And he was like, but we have like 42 churches already in this village. And they were like, yeah, but this is going to be a really big church. Like, he was like, all right, okay, yeah, let's do it. So I don't know, excuse me. Maybe one faith belief system doesn't work for you any longer, or doesn't work for your community group any longer. So perhaps you're choosing to give a different type of religion a try, you know, like something similar, but perhaps, you know, the terms of it suit you better. It could be something like that. Agape and the unseen. Oh, agape and the unseen. I don't know if it's agape or agape. I call it agape. Is this unconditional love with the unseen? That's profound. That's so profound. Can't remember if it's truth. Devotion, unconditional love. Yeah. Wow. So it does feel churchy, doesn't it? And look at this like up and down thing to it. Yeah, because you don't see unconditional love, you feel it. The greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all and just look into somebody's eyes, right? God, your reading's deep. Devotion, unconditional love. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, Goddess, or nature at the center? How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder. And that's what I was feeling. Do you know, at the beginning of the reading where I was like looking up at the sky, and it's still the same. Like, I don't know what the sun's up to today. It's taking its time to rise, but it's like painting the world in this gorgeous orange glow. Like, I don't know, it's like sensing something bigger than yourselves, Virgo, is the feel of it. And be like, that's really what I was feeling, you know, when I was talking about like building a bigger ship. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day. You reassess what you worship every day. There's something that is like the cracks are appearing in something, and that thing is going down for you, right? And you are, it's almost like seeing through the cracks, right? Seeing through the cracks and looking, it's almost like eye to the peephole, where you're seeing beyond the structure to divinity itself, and that feeling of unconditional love. And unconditional love is like, it's like the love of a mother for a newborn baby. I mean, not always, because sometimes people have postnatal depression and things like this, but which is acceptable, right? Again, that's unconditional love. It's like, you know, it's like empathizing and understanding why people feel what they do. So it's not, you're a terrible mother. What do you mean you're not breastfeeding your child? You're a terrible mother. You know, like, what do you mean you don't feel love for your baby? You're a terrible mother. It's not that kind of like condemnation that comes with certain groups, right? And I'm not like pointing fingers at a specific group, but you definitely see it in society, with where people get, you know, kind of on the high horse and judgy, which is, you know, like Jesus said, judge not lest ye be judged, and all that kind of stuff. So like, it's not, you know, it's people who are, you know, it's the cracks appearing in the people who try and act super religious and then they're really not. You know, they're not demonstrating the values that they're supposed to be representing. So unconditional love is like, I understand you. I understand why you're feeling that way. And it's okay that this is your experience. It's okay that your experience is this and not the experience of somebody else. You know, let's figure this out together. I'm going to support you, and accept what you feel. You know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Let's figure this out together. Let's look at alternatives, you know? So it's, my voice caught in my throat there. So it's really very, very compassionate. And it's, again, that sense of accepting all, like building a bigger ship, because everybody deserves to be on that ship, because we could all be in each other's shoes, right? If circumstances kind of, oh God, this reading, if circumstances played out that way, any of us could be in those shoes, right? And understanding that any of us could be brainwashed, right? Any of us could fall into those traps. So, you know, any of us could fall through the cracks of society. So let's look after each other. You're beautiful Virgos. Okay. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead to? So what are you elevating? And it doesn't have to be a particular religion, right? This could be, you know, a pop star, or, you know, money, or a certain job, or a certain brand of clothing that you think is better than the other brands of clothing, right? It's like, what do you put on those pedestals? What do you put on those platforms? Because there are some platforms that are about to fall, and it's going to reveal things to us. The unseen. It does have a very religious feel to this reading. I always get really nervous when I have readings like this, because, like, again, like, people are so sensitive and so blinkered to, you know, their own opinions, their own religion, their own belief systems, like they're right, you know, like, I'm sure that I'm right. And sometimes things fall down and you're like, whoa, I was wrong. You know, whoa, like, got out of that one at the right time. So you know, when we're very, very sure of ourselves, it's a bit of a warning sign sometimes, I'm going to be honest. So the unseen is like seeing the unconditional love, or this idea of like sensing unconditional love is something that's unseen. So it's that feeling of like, you know, you could have a preacher in front of you and they could be telling you what unconditional love is, but then you could have a lover next to you who loves you for exactly who you are, with that kind of unconditional love of God, right? Like divine love. I mean, God is so judgy. Like the Christian God is such a judgmental guy, right? So like, but that feeling of like looking to your lover's eyes and and just without words, knowing that they're yours and you're theirs, right? Knowing that they see all your faults and love you anyway. Like they see your crow's eyes or whatever it is. They see the wrinkles. They see the I don't know, wonky nose. Like they love you anyway, right? They love that because that's your character. That's who you are. And beyond that, beyond the surface level, like looking through the crack, through the eyes of the soul, and seeing you who you are and accepting that. And like that's what Leo was looking for in Leo's reading. That's what Leo needed, and it's here in your reading, and it's so beautiful. The unseen, the spirit, the ancestor, the eternal. The unseen is just as it sounds. We cannot see it, yet it sees us. Like Leo had this thing about windows. Watching and waiting with wisdom, both kind and instructive. We feel this presence, sense it, intuit it, and then doubt its existence. Though it rallies our attention time and time again. The energy of the unseen may come in many forms. A compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision or message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. It is natural to fear these communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. The doorway between the worlds is ajar. Listen. The sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. God, your reading is profound. The mountain. Climb every mountain. So this mountain card talks about having that higher perspective, right? Getting out of the woods and seeing things clearly. So the woods talk about kind of the lower chakras for me. Visually, I've been getting stuff about like visuals to represent each chakra. So to me, the treetops, the canopy is like the heart chakra, right? The place that provides the fruit. Then like above that you start to go to the throat chakra where like the birds are, right, where the birds sing. And then higher up from that you go to the third eye chakra, which is like the atmosphere where the aurora borealis would be. And then the crown chakra is like up outer space. So here you are, like really high vibrational, I want to say, really connecting with those higher chakras of intuition and I feel like you're beyond the throat chakra. I mean, it's good to have all the chakras in use and all the chakras in alignment, but I feel like you've gone beyond the throat chakra where you feel like you have to say things, to the third eye chakra and the crown chakra where you just know things, right? So I don't know why you're getting a bit of an icy dead people vibe. You're beyond, it's like you're beyond, because it's like, what are they trying to say there where you're beyond the throat chakra? You're beyond the words of others. So it's like the words will no longer affect you, you know, like if someone has something bad to say, or if someone's trying to convince you of something that you know to be from a higher place, it's like their words don't carry any weight anymore. So if it could be, and again it is coming through religiously and it's not going to be for everybody, so please don't cancel me. I have to kind of, as a reader, I am channeling messages and giving you things to think about, and I'm not telling you what's right and I'm not telling you what's wrong, okay? I am making your box bigger. Whoa, ayo. I am, expanding your borders to different ways of thinking, or different ideas, right, which you can play around with and either reject or incorporate, depending on what your path is and what suits you. So what I'm getting here is like, perhaps you have been in, because the temple's in reverse, perhaps you've been in, you grew up, your parents believed in a certain religion, you went to church, you listened to the preacher, and it could be any religion, right? I'm not saying one's greater than another or anything like that, like whatever, but it's like you listened to the scripture and you believed it, right? Because it's what you were taught, it's what everybody else believed, it's what you knew to be right. Leo had a bit of this as well. And then it's like, hang on, something isn't right here, because what you're saying to me is not the same thing as what I feel. So having that higher perspective, touching unconditional love, and to me, whatever God is, whether it's God, universe, whatever word we put on that energy, it is the energy of unconditional love. It is that star energy, and all encompassing and completely forgiving, and knows you for exactly what you are and accepts you for it, right? It's like, it's so divine, right? And it's so hard to achieve here on earth as mortals and so hard to find. But feeling it and being like, hang on, that's, that sense of awe and wonder that he was talking about. Like being like, that's what it is. That's what God is. Because I feel it. I know it. I know that energy now. I know that vibration. And then this preacher telling you something different and being like, that's not what God is. That isn't what I feel, what I know in my soul. Those words don't match. I've gone beyond the book. So very interesting reading, and I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. I'm like Jesus, but not in a sacrilegious way. I'm not having that inflated ego. I think everybody is right. I think everyone's God. This is my own personal belief system. I think if whatever that energy is, and we call it God, but to me it could be, you could call it so many different names, because the word puts that energy into a box. That word puts that energy into a religion. And I want to say all the religions, all the boxes that we put that energy in, all the words that we use for that energy are just us trying to understand it. We're actually feeling it beyond words. Like, it's in everything, and it's in every single one of us, right? That's that light, that soul star. It's in every single one of us. Like, we just have to find it within us. Like, nobody is better than anyone else. We are all equal, and we are all God, right? Or all a manifestation of God. So if that is not your belief system, I can totally respect that. You're welcome to start your own channel and preach your belief system. And I am not trying to undermine you or support anyone here. I'm just talking about what I feel. And I absolutely feel that they're giving me, looking to the sky to save me, looking for a guiding light, looking for something to help me turn out right. What is this? Foo Fighters? Learn to Fly by Foo Fighters. We're all mortals, we're all humans just trying to figure out our own path, and that's okay. What we choose to believe in, whatever suits our purpose at that moment. Whatever stage we're at, we're not meant to all have the same experience. And if that means, if your belief system means that some of us get left behind and some of us get a bit left behind, what was that song at the beginning of the reading, right? Go and listen to it. Okay, gosh, your reading's going to be long. I'm going to try and whiz through this next bit and get to your advice card, because I don't want the readings to be like super long. But we're going to go heart, head, action space, and then kind of moving timeline wise this way. Oh, Chariot, in control. Whoa, you know what you're doing. You've got full control. You feel like you've got full control over yourself, full control over your situation. You're bringing your light and your dark into alignment. You're finding that golden shadow energy. Virgos, you've got this. I can't believe I clicked my fingers. I can't normally click my fingers. I did the whole like, you go girl. Like, oh my God. And it's coming from the deepest parts of you. Deep emotional maturity here. Like, this is resonating with you at that higher heart level. You could have a King of Cups in your environment as well. Could be a Scorpio, not necessarily. Five of Wands. What is that doing there? We'll clarify that. I think you want to fight for something. I think you're ready to... I'm getting this sense of my tummy's rumbling a bit. I've not had breakfast. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. It's like you're ready to fight for what you believe in at a soul level. Like, whatever you believe to be true in your soul, you're ready to stand up for it, is how I'm going to read that. What's going on? You're moving on, mentally moving on from something. I feel like it's whatever that temple in reverse represents for you. You're out of that. Mentally, you could physically still be in that, but mentally you're out of there. Your reading's coming through extremely strongly, Virgo. What was that? Five of Cups. Okay. Your cards are giddy. Yeah, you're ready to defend something. You're ready to stand your ground. You're ready to defend something. And you feel like you've got the high ground. Judgment. Yeah, this is like soul calling. This is knowing something in your deepest heart of hearts. Like, it's like you found something to be true. I'm not saying like true cards here, but like something is speaking to you at a really profound level, and you're ready to defend that viewpoint. Because like, look at the mountain in the background. It's like you're ready to defend your ideas, your viewpoint, your higher perspective. And that doesn't mean necessarily in an aggressive way. It means in a, because you're showing us so emotionally mature there with that King of Cups. It's like doing what needs to be done in a way. I'm sort of seeing like your heels really ground down into the ground with roots. It's like there's something here that's really firmly planted, right? And it's very stable, very mature. So it's like, if you're standing up for somebody, I'm not going to say that you're going to go in and sort of like start fighting like bloody Joan of Arc or anything like that. Like, don't be the martyr. But it's like, you may have to, again, it could be some sort of institution, not necessarily a church, but it's like you could have to advocate for somebody who can't advocate for themselves, because that, like, you're saying something like the throat chakra stuff's coming through. So it's like, if you have a friend or a loved one who is not able to advocate for themselves, right, because of some kind of incapacity, it could be like a mental incapacity where, you know, they haven't got the logic or the compos mentis, you know, enough to be able to understand their own situation and to be able to vocalize, you know, their needs themselves. It could be that you've got somebody who is mute perhaps, and they cannot vocalize what they need, but it's because you are so compassionate, because you really understand something at this real deep level, you're in a position where you could be some kind of advocate for them. It makes me think of like my nana when she got really poorly. My dad kind of had to take over some of her, you know, decision making. But he did so from that deep place of like love, you know, wanting what was best for her. What's going on in your action space? Nothing's going to hurt you, baby. What's going on in your action space, Virgo? Why are you being secretive? Why are you being secretive? Why don't you want me to know? Yeah, oh gosh, you're ready to go. Whatever this is, you are absolutely ready to go. Feeling confident, got the skills necessary. Yeah, you've got this, Virgs. Why do I keep calling you Virgs? But there is a decision here. It's being driven from a place of heartbreak, because something has touched you on that heart level. Something has really, really impacted you emotionally, right? So I feel like, you know, like when you see something that's like an injustice, or you see something that's heartbreaking, and you're like, I can do something here. I can do something about this. I'm just gonna have a bit of my coffee. Yeah, definitely get into the direct. Yeah, you're seeing the devil. You're seeing the devil. The devil's funny. The devil's sneaky, right? So I'm not talking, I mean, if you're taking this as literally the devil, then take it as the devil. But I'm talking about I always talk about energy, right? So it's like the metaphor, this symbology of the devil, rather than an actual devil. I don't think there's like a guy with horns who runs around getting people to eat apples pretending to be a snake. I don't think that's true. But it's an energy that teaches us lessons. It's an energy that has a purpose, because it brings things into our lives that we need to stand up to and confront, right? It helps us to grow. So it's, what can sometimes happen is, you know, the people who are self-righteous, the people who think that they're good, can very quickly become corrupted and turn into something monstrous. So there's so many examples of this throughout history. I was talking about it in somebody's reading, and I was really kind of cautious about what I was saying, because I didn't want it to be taken the wrong way, because very quickly you can be shut down if you don't have the proper opinion, right? If you don't have the popular true opinion of the time. So I had a discussion about true opinions. If you want to go back and see that, true opinions can change. They're not knowledge. But, you know, the popular opinion of the group, and, you know, when the group starts to ostracize people and to really stubbornly stick to a certain principle where they do not listen to the other side. They do not listen to opposing opinions. They do not want to hear it because they're so fixated on what they believe to be the truth. That's the devil, because those people are now lacking compassion, which compassion is related to like Jesus, right? So it's like they've become the monster because they've gone to those kind of like fringes where all they want to hear is their own true opinion bounded back at them. And true opinion, there's like a pun on true. It's not necessarily true. It's Socrates, is it? If you want to, Socrates, I get the two mixed up. If you want to go and Socrates, if you want to go and look up Socrates and true opinions. But you've found the fault, right? You've looked through the fault, beyond the fault. What do I want to clarify here? Let's clarify everything. Chariot. This is the first card that came out for Leo, so maybe you're connecting with a Leo. Harnessing those two sides, harnessing the light and the shadow, and keeping them in balance. You know, this person's pulling these two horses into alignment, into balance. It takes a lot of strength to do that, right? It takes a lot of strength to harness that much power, but you're doing it. The umbrella, I think, is like protecting something. And there is, look at these two, see these two figure of eights, infinity things. There's something here that is, it goes beyond time, it goes beyond space, it goes beyond everything. It's a connection that cannot be broken. I want to say it's either the two sides of yourself, right? Your own light and shadow in this constant dance, and really bringing those into alignment and getting to that golden shadow energy. If you want to look up Carl Jung, golden shadow. But it could be you and another person who you find is very, very supportive. Somebody who gives you a lot of confidence and gives you a lot of strength. Okay. So what is the Six of Swords? What's going on here in your thoughts? Moving on from something. Yeah, you've got a new perspective. Absolute new perspective. Seeing something from the other person's point of view. Seeing something from... It's really got that feeling of like what was in Leo's reading, where it's like when you see the other perspective, when you understand the other's perspective, like you can't sit there in that box anymore and keep spouting the same like slogans, the same, you know, you can't keep being that soundboard if you see the other side, right? It's like you can't keep spouting the same old bullshit when you see beyond the bullshit. So you're moving on mentally, you're out of there. What's the Queen of Wands? I mean, the Queen of Wands relates to this confidence, right? So the Ten of Swords in the upright is a betrayal. It's like E2 Brute, right? I don't know if you felt like someone betrayed you in some sort of way, but you're understanding their perspective better now. You're seeing beyond the betrayal, right? You're seeing beyond that initial reaction to, because I think you've maybe spoken to them or you've understood their perspective. You see it from their point of view now, where it wasn't a betrayal, right? It wasn't a betrayal. It was somebody doing what they had to do, or somebody who had to express their own desires or needs. Just clarify that tower moment. I felt it's like it felt like a tower moment, but it wasn't a tower moment. It's like more information came out from this. Ten of Swords in reverse, Page of Wands. Like someone had to figure something out. Could be a child, could be a Sagittarius or an Aries, perhaps. Could be you, could be Leo. They had to figure something out for themselves. Like, it's no good telling them. They had to go and experience it to fully understand it, whether this is you or somebody else. You know, you cannot mature. Like what I was saying about my son, it's like he has to do it himself. I can't hold his hand forever. He has to go out into the world and kind of experience things. And it's like, whether this is you or somebody else, like experiencing this betrayal, or this, what initially felt like a betrayal, or, you know, this person going out and doing something, it's like they had to have that experience. It was part of their soul growth. You know, it's something that they had to do. They had to understand it for themselves. it wasn't that they were betraying you, I want to say. It was that they were, they had like how you've got this calling here. It's like they had this calling that they had to play out. What's the King of Cups? Deep love. Yeah, no, it's the kind of deep emotional truth that comes from heartbreak, the deep emotional clarity, the deep, you know, that deep maturity and sense of, it's like becoming okay with the pain, right? No longer bottling it up, no longer, you know, fighting away from it. It's like fully feeling it, fully embracing it. Who had that thing? Was it Pisces had this thing about going to the deepest, darkest places of your emotions, like going to a place that felt like it was crushing you, that was, or them, right? Going to a place that felt like it was crushing them and forcing themselves to do it because it felt so unnatural. You know, wanting to fight against it, wanting to swim away from it, but going there, going to that dark place and really, you know, confronting that, whatever was down there, and then coming back up. And it's like not having control over you anymore. Leo had this thing in their reading about, we're always chained to the devil, right? We all have that shadow side, that shadow aspect. Again, go and look at Carl Jung if you don't understand what I'm saying. But it's like, does your shadow control you, or do you control your shadow? It's like that connection is not going to be broken. That connection is always there. But how we incorporate it, how we use it. Please go and watch Carl Jung, Shadow. Look it up if you don't know what I'm saying, because it's so interesting. And the collective shadow as well, society's shadow. Like, what are we ignoring? What parts of ourselves are we rejecting? When we reject those parts of ourselves, they control us. When we incorporate them in a healthy way, we control them, right? They no longer, you know, get us to strike out or do stupid things because we have that maturity. So that's what that feels like. It's like that profound sense of well-being that comes from feeling the worst pain imaginable. Does that make any sense? And overcoming it and incorporating it. Like, it's like nothing can rock your boat anymore because you've tamed the ocean, is the way it's coming through. What's the Seven of Wands? That's really a very profound reading, Virgos. What are you up to? Nothing's gonna hurt you, baby. Seven of Wands. You're defending. I want to say this isn't you. Either it's you, it's a part of you that needs stimulation. It needs excitement. It needs adventure. It needs to blow off steam. Right? Go for a run. Virgos are runners. Maybe not all of you, but you do have a health and fitness aspect to your sign. So if you're feeling like a lot of pent-up frustration, exercise is a brilliant way to kind of alleviate some of that. So you can just Google, if you are kind of like housebound or anything like that, if you've got medical issues where you can't go out for a run, you know, if you Google like armchair yoga and things like that, there's definitely things that moving your physical body is definitely going to help you. And some of you, you need to blow off steam in terms of sexual things. So maybe you just want to go and shake hands with the boss, if you know what I mean. But it's like that part of yourself, that expressive part of yourself that incorporates feelings of desire and feelings of sensuality and feelings. It's a creative force. The Eve, right? It's the Eve. You're defending that part of yourself, or you're defending somebody who represents this. And they're confident, they own it, right? The Queen of Wands, she owns it. She knows who she is. She's not afraid of, you know, she doesn't hide herself. It's like Eve riding out of the Garden of Eden, shouting back over her shoulder, I'm glad I did it. I'm hot. I see my body now naked and I'm fucking hot. Like, work it, bitch, you know? I don't know why you've got this whole, like, I don't know who's coming into my reading. Who's the Queen of Pentacles? Happiness. How'd you get to find happiness? Gold frap. She's wearing a lot of gold there. So this is either you or somebody around you but there is somebody else involved here, or a group of people involved here. This is finding the people that you fit in with. It's finding the people that you want to nurture, that you who nurture you, and you can nurture, right? You can be their caretaker, and they'll appreciate it. And you know your place in that group, and you are happy there. Whatever you're doing, it makes you happy on a deep emotional level, and in a way where you're willing to defend whatever this is, because it's happiness. What's judgment? Let's go judgment. Major arcana. Clarify that Nine of Pentacles. Getting a couple of things. The Emperor. So the judgment is either a revival of a situation that you actually feel very comfortable in, and you actually feel very stable and resilient in, but it's independent. Now you've got a lot of energy here about being happy with some sort of group. This feels closed off from it, or shut out from it. And then you have this Emperor. So this is like a boss, a CEO, a father. It can symbolize authority, framework, structure, society, you know, things in society where, you know, normally business, the Hierophant tends to be more like church, but I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to put the Emperor back in. Just, oh, it's interesting that I've put him in with the Two of Cups there. Just to see if he comes back out, but we'll remember that he was there. What's the Five of Wands? Not quite sure what this is yet. What is the Five of Wands, please? Why is the Five of Wands here in... You want to stand up for yourself in a situation where you feel like you've had a lot of burdens on your shoulders, where you feel like you've been doing a lot of work and you're not seeing the results. So you want to, I don't know why I'm getting this, like, take the high ground, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're giving me Seven Nation Army. I want to fight them off. A Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back. I don't know what this is so much. We will get you an advice card. What's the Two of Wands? Explain the Two of Wands to me. What's going on here? All these Empress and King of Swords. Okay, so remembering that we had the Emperor there. The Empress can be like a mother, again, like a boss. She's the counterpart of the Emperor. So you seem to be, I don't know if this is a little bit should I stay or should I go. I feel like you have desires and needs that you have accepted and that you're comfortable with on some sort of level, and you're willing to defend the things that you're passionate about and the things that you draw strength from. You are witnessing something about yourself where you've been putting a lot of effort into something for a very long time, and it's not really, you're not seeing the payout from it. You're not seeing the growth from it. It just feels like a never-ending burden on your shoulders that is not going anywhere. And you are coming to a choice point. You are reaching a decision point in your actual tangible environment where you seem to be choosing between two different things. Now, I don't know if this is how you're going to handle the situation. Are you going to handle this like the Empress and this gorgeous, it's very maternal, this very maternal energy of I'm not going to reject anybody. I'm going to keep my heart open. I'm going to keep on being this mother goose energy where, you know, I'm taking people under my wing. I am nurturing them. I'm showing them how to be the best versions of themselves. I'm offering them growth. Or are you going to go cold? Are you going to be logical? Are you going to be strategic? Are you going to draw boundaries and cut something out? Are you going to be independent, or are you going to continue to sit in this seat of authority? Don't know what else to say. I'm not 100% clear. I hope it's clear to you. I hope you're like, yes, I know what this is. Because I'm all the glitters. I feel like, yeah, I feel like you've been buying into a lie. It's funny. I feel like, did Leo get Jerry Maguire? I feel like it came through for them, not you. I've done the 2 readings back to back now. Or the overview reading for Leo. I took the reading yesterday down because it was just waffle. All that glitters, look at my gold nails. All that glitters is not gold. So the Queen of Pentacles, she's material, right? She's career focused. She's good at, you know, she's good at making money. But it's almost like smog, right? It's like having so much money you don't know what to do with it anymore, or like it not making you happy. You know, you thought this was going to make you happy and it didn't make you happy. Something like that, where your happiness seems to be what's in question here. So chasing after the wrong thing. Advice, please, for Virgos. Advice for Virgo. Is that the message in the bottle? No, Treasure Island. Someone else had a message in bottle. An orphaned. Yeah, Leo had this. Treasure Island. Okay. I was just looking at the picture to see if I was getting anything from it. There's a card in one of the other decks that's called Protecting Treasure. I'm actually going to get that out as well because I'm seeing it. Hold on. Okay, so just to clarify a couple of things. When I say they, they've shown it me. I don't know what they is. I don't know if this is my own subconscious. I don't know if it's God beaming stuff directly into my brain. I don't know if it's spirit guides. I don't know if it's ghosts. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's my own crazy brain, right? I don't know where this stuff comes from. I associate it with certain energies, but that's just my way of understanding it as a mortal with a brain, right? But sometimes I get things that flash up in my head. So I'll hear a song or I'll see an image, and it's very different to, you know, like normally things will pop into your head, right? Or you'll get a song stuck in your head. It's very different. It feels more like turning on a Wi-Fi signal in my brain and beaming something in. It's the way I can describe it. So it's like sometimes I will just be talking or chatting away, and it's like my mind's eye will be like, and it's like, and I'll be like, oh, I'm seeing something here, hang on, something's coming in. And so I saw this reading, I saw this card twice. So I saw it when I was talking about the umbrella. Do you remember, like, it stood out to me, this umbrella here, and I was like, it's protecting something. I saw this card in my mind's eye, protecting treasure. And then because of this treasure box here, and it's Treasure Island, it's like, and you can see this treasure box here as well, I was like, it showed up twice for me. I was like, giraffes could be something as well. I mentioned giraffes when I was talking about the arc. That could be Aquarius. So yeah, they've shown me this, they whoever they is has shown me this card twice now, so I feel like they want me to read this as well. So I'm going to read this because it's what came out physically on camera for you. So this is what is your official advice card. This is intuitive additional advice. So just to kind of say, this is where I would personally encourage you to give more weight. This may be just something to consider, but it really, as well with your song, like, nothing's going to hurt you, baby, right? It's like, nothing's going to hurt you, baby. I don't know, protecting. It's like she's the treasure. She's protecting the gold, right? So it's like her mind is on the gold. But it's like while she's trying to protect whatever this is, you know, you're coming in, I want to say, because you're with the umbrella, right, Virgo? You're coming in and protecting this. So protecting someone as they chase after something else or something like that, right? 9, okay. Treasure Island, the law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition. My tummy's rumbling again. I'm going to have to go and get breakfast. The results of positive thinking may manifest. Abundance appearing as if from nowhere. Financial gains and the sharing of good fortune. Okay, the oracle message, so general message. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. Go and buy lottery tickets. I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery. Like, money and comes to us in a lot of mysterious ways, and normally unexpected ways that we didn't see coming in my experience, especially when it comes to manifestation. So just allow the law of abundance to do its thing. Create those vacuums by not clinging onto money, but by spending money in a responsible way, and yeah, allow the universe to bring you those opportunities. Normally we do have to put some effort into it, but you'll be surprised at how the universe manifests things on your behalf when you allow it to, and when you stop trying to control situations. So if you want to go out and buy a lottery ticket and try your luck, absolutely encourage you to do so, but don't expect it to come in that way. But yeah, the universe works in very mysterious ways. Like the amount of times like I've needed to buy the kids' school uniform, and then like I've got some kind of weird government payout that I didn't even know I was entitled to get, and it's like, okay, thanks, and I've not had to do anything for it. Like when I was working in the school, I earned a very, very small pension from the time that I was working there, like because of the council, and I kind of didn't even realize and didn't even pay attention. And then when I left, they were like, oh, it's quite a small payout, we're just going to pay it you back because, you know, like it's not worth keeping a hold of, so we're just going to pay it into your bank account. And I was like, thanks, that covered the cost of the school uniforms. Weird universe doing things on my behalf without even realizing. So it's like, just don't worry about money. It's like the abundant universe provides. But you have worked hard, right? And there's this thing about working hard and not getting the payout from it. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering, but I had worked hard. This is the thing as well. Like I didn't work hard expecting to get that like little payout, but it's like the work that I had put in was returned to me in an unexpected way. So I worked very hard at that school. Like I had a lot, I poured a lot into it. So yeah, I don't know. It's like anything that you do from the heart space because it matters to you, that's what the universe is going to reward. I don't know. I'm waffling. It's a long reading, so I'm going to stop talking and just read the things. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the mapped and buried treasure and tapped into the unlimited potential within you. Some of you could just be playing Minecraft, right? Sometimes it comes through in like, oh, it's that game I was playing. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. And again, like all that glitters is not gold, right? Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter into this truly prosperous phase where all the long hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. And exactly, like being the Samaritan, right? Being paying it forward. When you are generous, it creates a vacuum. So this is how the law of abundance works. Being generous creates a vacuum which draws more money to you. It's how things flow. So you spend money to make money, that kind of thing. Which is hard. And again, I've come from a background where I've really struggled for money. I've been like, you know, I have not had money for food. I have had bills to pay off, and loans to pay off. And I was so lucky, and this is the thing, it's the attitude of gratitude matters. So I was so fortunate that my mum at the time was working in a cafe, and at the end of the day, the food that would have been thrown away, she would put it in like old butter tubs and stuff and she'd bring me like all this rice and stuff. And I had like a baby at the time. I think I was pregnant at the time. So like just that leftover food I was so grateful for. Yeah, it's funny how, you know, we can take things for granted sometimes, and you know, people can show up and you know, things not going to waste as well. I don't know if there's something in that. Right, relationship message. So those of you who are particularly asking about a relationship, your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need, but you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourself and about each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. So maybe that's what's getting revived here, right? Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. So for those of you who are asking about money, career, finance, at this time you can be confident that your success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you're in a true manifestation period where you will see evidence of the seeds of your of prosperity that you planted in the past. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. So if you don't know, if you've never looked this up before, look up the law of abundance, the attitude of gratitude, and like things like paying it forwards as well, and create it. So manifestation in terms of like being grateful, being generous, and paying it forward creates that funnel, like creates that vacuum to allow more to follow. So you are part of a chain in some sort of way, perhaps. Maybe some of you are buying property. So I'm going to read this as well. And so just to remind you that this is intuitive, this is the card that came out like as your official message. So this is take it or leave it. Protecting treasure. You are always protected and divinely directed. Although, I hope you're all having a good birthday season as well. That's coming a bit late, but it is Virgo season. So I hope you're all having good birthdays. Although this is a time of great risk, know that at a fundamental level you are able to move forward safely in security. The proverbial nest egg is safe and sound no matter the fluctuations in the world. Guardian angels and other guides are whispering to you, so make you aware of their protective presence. Your loyalty is an important theme now. Nurture that which you hold dear. This is a good time to strengthen bonds of friendship and ensure their integrity. If you feel tested right now, know that a true and loyal heart always achieves its aim. Take refuge under an angel's wing. You are not alone and you have no need to fear. Nothing's going to hurt you, baby, right? Embrace your courage. What a beautiful reading. I really enjoyed that reading. Thank you for sharing your energy with me today, Virgos. Leave me a like if you like and all that business. And yeah, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope it's given you a sense of clarity, a sense of reassurance in whatever you're doing, because I think you are already in the flow of something. And if you needed that little confirmation from the universe, I really feel like that was it. Yeah, I love it. Nothing's going to hurt you. Do take care of yourselves and take care of others. Be in the attitude of gratitude, let it go, let it flow, and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye.